Friends, this is the organizer you've been waiting on. Hi everyone, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. Stay tuned. Welcome to my channel, friends. Thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate it. We are going to do some paper crafting magic today because we're going to make a paper organizer or a document organizer for practically free. Now, what is it that I'm making? We are going to be making this, and you're probably saying, Sherry, that's just another folio. No, y'all, this is not a folio. I'm going to go ahead and just open the top here so that you can see what we have. You see the system that we have here? We have a fully expandable filing system. Now in mine, I have 6 folders. You can put more in yours, but look at this. And then it collapses. We have a way of storing our 8.5 by 11 documents, some 8.5 by 11 decorative paper, if that's how you choose to use it. You can also carry this with you if you're working outside of your home. You can carry this as a work accessory. This is absolutely fabulous, and y'all are going to be amazed at how easy it is to make this. So I'm going to flip to my overhead camera because I do want to give you a closer look. But y'all know what time it is. It's time to make it. All right, so here is a closer look at today's awesome project. Y'all, when finished, this measures 11 5/8 by 9 5/8, and it is 1/2 of an inch deep. And when I say we're making this for practically free, we will have some costs associated with this, but I did the math on this and I was able to make mine for under $3. And that is some amazing budget paper crafting. So I'm going to go ahead and open this because I have this little top here that's just designed to hold it closed. And then you can see those file folders on the inside, and I'm going to turn it to the side. And if you look at my picture-in-picture, you can see how much room we actually have, but you can also see how little room something like this will take up. Now you can pack it tight if you want, but most of the time we don't. We put items in here that we want to keep. We might even put photos in here. Completely up to you. But y'all, it is so super simple to make, and it is so budget friendly. Here's what we're going to need to make it. All right, so mine will be a chipboard project, and if you don't have chipboard, you can try using cardboard. You can try doubling up on the larger cereal boxes to get the size that you need. You can try all types of things that you might have and you want to put together to have a cover for your file folder as well. You don't have to have chipboard, but I'm a fan of chipboard, so that's why I tend to use it a lot. Now, what I have here is one piece of chipboard that measures 1/2 by 11 5/8. I have 2 pieces that measure 3 by 5.5. And I have 2 pieces that measure 9 5/8 by 11 5/8. And y'all, I have a whole bunch of white file folders, so that's what I'm choosing to use on this project. I have 7 document-sized file folders, so these will hold document sizes up to 8.5 by 11. So I'll be using 7 of these. 6 of them will go inside of the holder, and then I'll use 1 to make the joining side pieces. And then I have some decorative paper from a paper pad, and I'll be using 2 sheets to cover the outside of the folder. And then I might need 2 sheets, one for the liner that I'll be using and one to cover that overlapping flap on the front. But I might be able to avoid using both of these if I put the pieces down the way that I want to put the pieces down. So I am going to show you the book that I'm working from is from Recollections, and it's called When Life Gives You Lemons. This I bought from Tuesday Morning many moons ago, so I don't even know if this is still available. You get 48 sheets, and I paid $7 for mine. The reason why I'm using this particular pad on this project is I like the paper, but I wanted to share with you how, if you're making a project like this, you can extend the length of the paper by using this color coordinated strip in the pad. A lot of pads will have strips such as these in them. And whenever my project is going to be super tight on the paper, I try to use these whenever possible. Now, I could have used roll paper, wallpaper, contact paper, wrapping paper, all of those. I could have used any one of those, but I wanted to share with you how sometimes I will use this to extend the length of my paper. The first thing that I'll be doing is joining our two pieces together. And the way that I'm going to do it, you can see that I have the strip here, and then I have the strip on this side. And I'm doing this for a reason. And that reason is, depending on how I place my paper down, you won't ever see this. But if my placement of the paper is off just a little bit, I don't want a whole yellow strip going down the whole project. I would rather have it going down a part of the project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape and I'm going to run a strip of tape along this side here. And then I'm going to peel away this tape backer. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm just going to overlap it onto the tape. Now you can glue this if you want. I'm simply choosing to tape. Now that our piece is like this, I'm just going to flip it over, bring in the two chipboard pieces that measure 9 5/8 by 11 5/8, and the one chipboard piece that measures 1/2 inch by 11 5/8. And I'm going to place these down, and you're about to see why I'm using that extra 1/2 inch. So here's that extra 1/2 inch right here. And then it's over on this side here. If I didn't have that, you see how tight this would be? So I am glad that I decided to use it. I'm going to place my piece like this, and y'all, I do believe that I'm going to have a little bit of that yellow showing. That is not going to bother me. And then I'm going to take this piece and we place it here. And then I'll take this piece and I'll place it right here so that my seam will be on the back. So I'm going to peel away my tape backers. And let's take this piece and I'm going to put it right there. I am going to have a little bit of that yellow showing. I don't think I'm going to be able to avoid that on one side of this, and that's going to be okay. And then I'll take this piece and we're going to put it down with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing in between. And then we'll take this piece and put it down with about 1/8 of an inch in spacing in between. Then I'll take my finger blade and I'm just going to cut off some of this. So now I'm just going to stand it up. I'm not going to use my stylus because I want to really press against the seam. I'll press against the seam here. And then I'll press and fold over here. And do the same thing here. So now I'm going to take my finger blade and I'm just going to miter. Grabbing that glue, I'm going to place some glue on here. And I'll fold over. And really work that stick. Rotate it to this side. Add my glue. And really work that stick. Then I am going to stand this up and just fold my paper over so that it can get used to being folded over. Because it's a thinner piece than I normally like to have on my ends. So I'm just adding that glue. We will take this piece and fold over here, and let's get this stuck. Just really working that stick. And I'll get in here and work it. Then I'll flip over to this side and do the same thing. So let's stand it up, fold it over. And we're really just going to work that stick to make sure that everything is nice and stuck. Let's work it here. Go in, go in. We don't want anything coming undone. Let's work it. Then I'll just go across the edges to get that nice professional squared edge look. So you can see I have a yellow strip going down one side. I'm okay with that. And this side I have just a little yellow showing. So I think that I am actually going to make this the front of my holder. Now you might think of all types of different ways that you want to do this. Y'all, I am very much okay with how this looks. I have my yellow flowers in here, and then the topper that I'm going to put on. I have absolutely no problem with this showing because I knew that when I chose not to cut this off, the possibility of some of it showing was definitely there. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it to the side. And we are going to bring in our file folder. So this one was a little bit messed up, and I am going to use it for the side pieces. But I do have 6 good file folders, and I am just going to alternate the tab positions on all of these. And by alternate, I mean I have one here, one here, one here, and then I will go back and just repeat that because I'm putting 6 in mine. So here's how this looks. Y'all, this is about to be so easy. We are going to take some glue, and I am going to add some glue right here and some glue right here. This is very similar to what you saw me doing with the envelopes that we added to a notebook. So now I'll take my spatula and get that nice and stuck. Then I'll take some more glue, add some glue there, add some glue there. Let's place this one. Get it nice and stuck. And we just repeat this until we have all of our file folders down. Now you want to make sure that you do allow your glue a chance to dry. Let's place some here and here. Doesn't take much. And right now I have not placed an inside liner, and I'm going to show you why I might not need to, and it might turn out that I do need to. So we're going to place that right there. And take this piece, put it on top. And now we have all of these pieces together. I have 6 of them stacked like this. They're really pretty neat and even. So I'm going to bring in my holder because what I want to do is I want to see if I need an inside liner. And you can see that right now on this side I don't. I won't need an inside liner for the side pieces because this is cut and designed to go edge to edge. So the way that we'll be putting it in, it will cover that. So y'all, I don't think that I need an inside liner for this. Now, if you want to cover this whole thing, you can cut down some pieces to put down. Originally, what I planned to do, if the chipboard was exposed on these ends, I was going to take a piece of 12 by 12 and cut it down to 2 pieces of 6 by 12 and put half here and half here and leave that open because it's not going to show. What I am going to do is take a little 4-inch strip. So I'm going to cut this at 4 by 11 3/8. And I'm just going to put it right here so that if you expand it all the way, you won't see this. You'll never see this because it's going to be covered, but there is a possibility that you could see this, so we're going to cover that. So I am going to take my tape and I'm going to cover this entire piece in tape. All right, so I have added tape to the back of this piece, and I'm just going to take it and put it down like this. And then I'll just work my spine, and I'll rotate it to this side and work the spine over here. And like I said, if you want to cover the inside of yours completely, you can certainly do that, but it's not really going to be necessary, and you'll see why it's not necessary in just a minute. But we're going to take this and set it to the side because we don't need it right now. So now I'm going to bring in that 7th file folder, and where it folds, I am going to cut off the end. Then I'll just turn it around with the 2 pieces together, and I'm going to cut this at 7.5. And I'm keeping the 2 pieces together because now I am going to start cutting off 1 1/2 inches by 7.5. And I'm going to cut 6 pairs of these, so I'll have 12 in all. 1 1/2 by 7.5. All right, so once we have all of these cut, I am going to leave 2 of them together, and on the 1 1/2 inch side, I'm going to score at 3/4 of an inch. On the 1 1/2 inch side, score at 3/4 of an inch. All right, so now that we have all of our pieces scored, let's just fold on that score mark. We're going to bring these back in because they should be nice and dry and able for us to handle them. What we're going to do, y'all, is going to be very simple. We're going to take these, add some glue, and then we're just going to align them with the side and put them down. So I'll do a couple with you, and then I'll do the rest off camera because this video could be pretty long if I do all of them. So I have my glue on. I'm going to take this piece, and when I place it down, I have placed it slightly above the fold mark. I'm going to align it with the edge, and then I can go in, work my stick, and then I can do the same thing on the opposite side, and I'm going from side to side, because it keeps everything nice and even. So now I'll take this piece. I'm going to put it right here, trying to match my placement with the other piece. So let's get that put down. Let's go in and let's work that stick. So I have these two pieces. Now I'm going to take my glue, place my glue on here, and I'll place my glue on this piece. I'll take this piece and bring it up and over like this. And then I'll use my spatula or bone folder, whatever you're using, to get that nice and stuck. Then I'll take some more glue and we just repeat the process. So I'm going to take this piece, put it right over here. I think I was off camera a little bit, but I took that piece and I put it right there. Get it stuck. Then I'm going to take this piece. Let's add some glue. We're going to put it right here. Let's go in and work that stick. Now I'll take my glue, put my glue right here. Then I'll add some glue right here. We can take this piece, bring it up until it meets the other piece. And then let's just work that stick. All right, I'll do one more with you and then I'll do the other three off camera. So I'm going to take my glue, let's take this piece. Let's put it right here on the edge. We want to make sure it's not sticking out over the edge. And let's get that nice and stuck. Then we'll turn this around. I'll take my glue, put it there, and then we'll take this piece, put it right here, and get that stuck. And this is all we do, y'all. We're putting these on because we need a way to close the edge of the file folders. These are not envelopes, they're actual file folders. So we needed a way to close them. And this is a very quick and easy way to do that. Add my glue here. Add some glue right here. Take this piece and bring it up, fold it over, and we place it down. Everything actually goes into place very nicely. And then I'm just going to take my spatula and smooth out that glue. Y'all, I'm going to go ahead and do the other three off camera, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I have all of my side pieces in, and this is what we're left with. So once you have those side pieces in, you're going to have this action going on right here. Now we're going to take this and we're going to join it to our book. So once we start this process, you'll see why you don't really need side pieces. So I'm going to get everything nice and aligned, open my book like this. I'm going to bring in some glue. I'm going to take my glue, place some glue along the edge, place some glue here. I'll place glue here. And then I'll just place some strips of glue like this. Now I'm just going to take this piece and we just fold it over, because we're sticking the front and the back envelope to the actual jacket. So that acts as your liner. Now I'm going to flip it over and open it, because I'm going to bring in my ruler and I'm going to go to that last page that I glued, and I'm just going to work that glue in so that we have a nice stick going. So that's all I did. So now this part is easy. I'm just going to open this side, take my glue, place my glue here, place some glue here, some glue here, here, and then I'll just place some glue going across like that. And we're going to take this and fold over, getting everything nice and stuck. Now I'll flip this over, we'll open, and I'll go to that last page and I'll work that glue. I'm going to set this to the side to give it a moment to dry. I'm going to bring in my two pieces that measure 3 by 5.5, and we're going to go ahead and make our fold over flap. This is completely optional. I just think it's cute. So we are going to be using the fold over method. Take my chipboard and I'll put it down like this. So then I'll take this piece and I'm going to put it down with quite a bit of space in between. I actually have about 1 inch of space in between here. And I'm doing this because as that folder expands, or as you put items in the folder, you'll have room for this to spread out a little bit with that flap still on. So now I'm just going to cut off some of this because we don't need all of it. Then I'm going to stand it up and just train it to fold over. And then I'll miter my edges. I am going to be using glue on this part of the project. So I'm going to cut in here, angle here, and cut in here. Then I'm going to take my glue, place my glue on these pieces, and I'll go ahead and fold them over like that. Get that nice and stuck. And we'll fold this over, get it nice and stuck. And then we'll take this piece and fold it over. And I'm just going to place some glue right in there because we definitely need for there to be some stick inside of that little spine area. So let's get that stuck. Then I'll take this piece and we should be able to fold it over, and we can. So now I'm going to take some glue. I'm going to place some glue in here, and then I'll place some glue along my edges. And then I'll just add some glue like this. Now we're just going to take this, pull it nice and tight, and lay it down. And now we will just work in our glue. Let me go ahead and work that spine. Work it from this side as well. then I'll flip it this way and just really give that a nice little creasing. Go in. Make sure that glue is not bubbled. Now I can take this piece and we can put it on like this. I am going to be gluing it to the back. When I place my glue, I'll place some glue so that I am on the edge, but I won't go all the way to the top with that glue. You see where I stopped? There's the spine, and I stopped about 1/2 inch down because I want to make sure that this can open easily. So I'll just snap that onto the back. I am going to use my ruler again to go into that last pocket and just help the stick on that flat piece. And now I can take this piece and we can fold over like this. So I am using a Velcro dot, and these Velcro dots are from the Dollar Tree. Let's peel away that backer. I'll stand it up, open it just a little bit, and stick it. So now I can open that. We'll get that nice and stuck, and we'll make sure this one is nice and stuck. And now I can close it. So then I have this nice little chipboard sticker here. I'm going to add some glue to the back because these are pretty old and I don't want it coming undone. So I like to add a little bit of glue to make sure that my stick stays stuck. And it says, be patient with yourself. Nothing in nature blooms all year long. So y'all, here is our fabulous expandable 8.5 by 11 file folder document holder. I can now do it like this because this is pretty dry. But I also want to bring in a piece of 8.5 by 11 inch paper because I want you to see how easily that goes in. This does hold your 8.5 by 11 inch documents. Look at that. I think it's just fabulous, and I think you're going to enjoy making these. These will certainly help you to get organized, whether it's in your craft room or your home office, or you want to take these to work with you. These are fabulous. So I'll bring that first one back in and I'll open it like this. This one, even though I know I can flex it right now, I'm going to give it some more drying time because this one has had plenty of time to dry. And y'all, look at all of this expandable gorgeousness, and then watch this, like magic. So I hope that you have enjoyed this fun video on how we can work towards becoming more organized. So if you have liked this video, and I certainly hope that you have, please hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber to my channel, y'all, all day, every day, this is what we do, and this is how we do it. I want to make sure that paper crafting is accessible to anyone who wants to participate in this craft. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you will know when I upload a new video. As always, my beautiful handcrafty friends, please be safe, be kind, and be the reason someone smiles today. Happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.